Welcome to Coffee, Tea, Me. My name is Michelle, and I am a pre-K teacher, and I got a friggin' potty mouth. And I like to get on here and drink my coffee, and we talk about all the things. Whether you drink coffee or tea, come in, hang out. We're going to talk about something very significant that happened on Sunday. Um, the Louvre was once again burgled. Now, the Louvre on Sunday morning, about 30 minutes after it opened, as the guards were welcoming people in and welcome to the Louvre, but in French. Um, these four men, we're assuming, is my assumption, um, used a ladder truck to ladder to the second floor to the Apollo room, used grinders to cut the window open, crawled in. They smashed, it was like a smash and grab at this point because 9:30 to 9:37, 7 minutes is all it took for them to get away with $102 million worth of uh, crown jewels, the French crown jewels that were worn by, um, oh, what was her name? I wrote it down. Empress Eugenia? This is French. People, don't come after me, okay? I am but a lowly American that does not know how to speak French. Don't come after me, because my pronunciation is going to be simply awful. But she was the wife of Napoleon III. So look, this is what we know, okay? This is what we know. This is what we know so far. Four men used grinders to cut open the window. They used a ladder truck to get up to the second floor. They got up to the second floor. They used the grinders. They cut the windows open. They went. They smashed the glass case. They grabbed the crown jewels. They climbed down the ladder. They got out, and then two cohorts on a motorbike. I don't know, but that's what it said. A motorbike, a Yamaha something. And they got on and they sped away. The police got there as they were leaving because the ne'er-do-wells were trying to set the truck on fire, that they had used with, I'm sure, whatever evidence was in there. But they got away with $102 million worth of crown jewels. Yeah, that's not too shabby. But this is the thing. That's not too shabby. But this is the thing. Um, when things like that are stolen from museums, um, you know, history loses something, the country loses something. People, not just a few people, not just the museum, but literally millions, perhaps billions of people lose out on that historical fact. Seeing something that is historical, that has significance, um, and losing out on the emotional, um, as well. I mean, the value, of course, 102 million ain't nothing to sneeze at, but the emotional value of things like this being stolen. They have seen a rise in the last 5 to 7 years of people stealing raw materials. And what that means is they're more than likely, sadly, um, these crown jewels are going to be melted down, the jewels taken out. It's going to be disassembled. And it's going like a chop shop for jewelry, but things like medals, crowns, tiaras, things like that, things that are stolen, not paintings, but things that can be stolen and changed and reimagined and sold and parted out like a freaking Subaru. Okay. That sucks. Okay. And you, poor sirs, you suck a lot. Yeah. Uh, because you didn't just steal from the museum. You literally have stolen from the whole country, something that was valuable, historically and was significant. It's in a museum for people to appreciate and to see, and who, there's emotional ties that go with seeing something in a museum, seeing something that you've only seen in books. And then when you finally get to see it, it should, and I think it does, it creates something. It's like meeting your hero. The first time I saw Vincent's Starry Night, uh, I was it was an emotional moment for me because I had loved that painting since I was a little girl. So getting to see it in person I was awestruck. The other time was when I got to see Frida Kahlo's Two Fridas. That painting, if I could have hugged that painting, I would have. And just knowing that their hands had touched that was significant. So the fact that you assholes stole these crown jewels, what you just see as money, but these are things that are, important to the country of France. And yeah, y'all are assholes. Uh, it belongs in a museum for a reason, so that the public can see it, so the public can appreciate it. So, good job being an asshole. Um, Other than that, um, it brings to mind this because not only this has happened at the Louvre before, when Giovanni, I'm not going to attempt his last name, but he was an Italian man. Giovanni stole the Mona Lisa in 1911. And the way he stole it was he had worked because at the time they were trying to protect the glass because then you could touch the Mona Lisa, so they wanted to put glass over it. And he had worked for the company that had installed the glass. Now, what he did was Giovanni hid in the closet overnight, and in the morning he just walked out and put on a smock and walked out like one of the people that worked, the restorers, someone that worked in the museum, and no one questioned it. Um, and it took them 24 hours to realize it was gone because one of the guards, someone had noticed, like, hey, that chick over there, Mona Lisa, she's not in her place. And then someone said, I think she's being cleaned. I think they took her down for a cleaning. And so, oh, okay, because that happened a lot. There was no system, there was no safeguards, whatever. There was nothing going on for to prevent something like that happening because I don't think they realized that could happen. But the Louvre at the time, they had their stuff set up like it was a parlor, like just stuff sitting on mantelpieces, little knickknacks and objet d'art, just like that. But other things have been stolen, just nothing as big as the Mona Lisa. So when the Mona Lisa was discovered to be missing, they were sure that it was a mastermind. It was a group of these art thieves that had planned a worldwide interconspiracy web of lies, Italian heist kind of job. Not just a little Giovanni, um, little Giovanni that had uh, he he just took it. He just took it. He worked there, so like, and he took it. His original story was that he was taking it to repatriate it back to Italy, but then he ended up stealing. He ended up trying to sell it 2 years later, and that's how he got caught. But the Mona Lisa was really never fully Italian. I believe it was Da Vinci finished it in France, and why he never gave it to Giovanna, I believe, was the woman that they believe is who is in the painting. Why he never gave it? Maybe they didn't pay the bill. He's like, I'm taking it with me. He went to France, took it with him to France, and when Leonardo da Vinci died in France, it was there. I believe it hung in someone's bathroom for a while. So until it was stolen, the Mona Lisa was not a significant painting. It was actually being stolen that made it a significant painting. Uh, Truly along the lines of you don't know what you got till it's gone. And that is what happened because when the Mona Lisa was stolen, all of France was like, oh my God, the Mona Lisa is missing. All over the world, the Mona Lisa is missing. Who did it? These masterminds. Not they weren't looking for one little guy. No. So they started questioning. They started questioning people. And they went to the underbelly and they're like, we're gonna, the underbellies of France and we're gonna find out, we're gonna talk to them because we all know you know. And so they started talking. Now this is where I'm going to chop up a name, okay? And I wrote it down because I don't know how to say it. If I was just going to read it I would call him Guillarme, but I'm sure it's a Guillarme or something, Apollinaire. We'll try and fix it that way. Anyway, so we'll just call him Gil. Old Gil, he gets taken in because the police are like, you know what, Gil, we're pretty sure you know something because you you walk these streets and you know the things. And Gil, he sung like a bird. He let it all out. He dropped names, this and that, and one of the names he dropped was this man named Joseph. Okay, now Joseph, he was an art thief. He was an art thief. But he wasn't the art thief. He wasn't a big art. I mean, he wasn't, living in the lap of luxury. Joseph tended to steal and then sell to people around him because he needed money. So Joseph comes in. And Joseph, he's like, okay. He was like, look, I did steal things from the Louvre, but I did not steal the Mona Lisa. But if you want to talk to someone, you need to talk to this guy who I've sold stuff to. His name is Pablo Picasso. You need to go find him and go talk to him. So the police did. Pablo Picasso gets dragged in for questioning. And at first, Pablo, don't get me wrong, Pablo was a friggin' genius, an artistic genius, but he was an asshole. And so he gets dragged in and he says, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know him. I don't know him. I don't know what they're talking about. So, of course, the police are like, we think she'll be lying. So eventually, Pablo says, yeah, okay, I did. And I did buy it. It was some statues, some Iberian statues. I bought them, from Joe. And so after, thorough questioning and this and that, well, they let them all go because they realized that they're not, these are not the droids they were looking for, is what they realized. These are not the droids they were looking for. So they let them go. So off Pablo goes off into the world to become a famous painter. Um, Gil, whatever, he has no more friends because they all realize that Gil is a snitch. So no one wants to be his friend anymore. And Joseph, not much is known about him. He just went on to, I'm assuming just to continue on. Um, so for 2 years, the Mona Lisa was missing, 1911 to 1913. The way they found it. Now, for this 2 years, Giovanni kept the Mona Lisa in the false bottom of a trunk. Okay? Took her everywhere, takes her back to Italy, and what I can only assume, he's in Florence and he needs a little money. So he decides to go to an art dealer, and he asks that art dealer, if I had the Mona Lisa, how much would you give me? So the art dealer was like, no one has the Mona Lisa, but whatever, yeah, sure. So he tells me, yeah, come on in, bring the Mona Lisa in, and I'll see what I can give you. So he calls the police, and he's like, you know what? I got this guy coming in to me and he says he has the Mona Lisa and he wants to sell it. And so the police are like, well, we'll come and check it out. And they did. They found the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa gets taken back to France. Giovanni only spent 7 months in prison. He went on to serve in World War One, had a daughter, a very I believe after this, a very uneventful life, just a normal life that anyone else would have, except he stole the Mona Lisa. And do you know how, when he stole the Mona Lisa, he took it out and he walked out. Because this is the thing, when you blend in, it's hiding things in, 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 in the wide open. You're not trying to hide it, because when you're trying to hide it, you know what? You give off those I'm trying to hide things vibes. And so they people pick up on that and they're like, yeah. And it's weird. But you put on a vest and people don't question who you are. You carry a ladder, people aren't going to question what are you doing with that ladder. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. That guy he must be here for something, because nobody walks around with a ladder for no good reason. So always question, things, and don't just assume because someone looks official that they are. Um, I believe in staying. It's the wannabe detective in me that wants to stay highly suspicious of everyone around me, because people are scandalous. People are scandalous. So you guys, that is my take on the Louvre. I am saddened. I am saddened that you know people take things that don't belong to them, and I'm even more saddened that the truth of the matter is that these will probably not be recovered um, whole. The authorities already believe that these jewels have probably already been dismantled, and the gold melted down, the jewels taken out, and that's it. And so that is sad. That is sad. So let's well, we can hope that that is not the case. But reality is always right there. So again, you forcers are assholes. Everybody else, you're fine. Everybody else is great. I hope everyone has a great day. Drink your coffee, drink your tea, hang out with me. I am live in the mornings on TikTok, 6:30 till about 8 o'clock. Um, until then, my name is Michelle. I'm a pre-K teacher, and we like to talk about the things, historical things that are of significance in my mind. So you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.